Well, I got this nice old Kingswood back again for a quick visit. Just needed a tad more wiring. There seem to be blowing fuses now and again when you're cranking it, because if you remember off the video that I did last of wiring it, we had to run a wire to the starter motor to feed the ignition whilst cranking, because the ignition switch is faulty and it loses all ignition power whilst you crank. So now I've put a relay in that runs off the starter relay that feeds the ignition system whilst cranking. So that was the simplest thing to do, or get a new ignition switch, but that works. So yeah, just a quick little look at this one. And just to make this video a little more interesting, I figured I might try and start the Moldy LTD, which is a bit on the sad side. The engine itself seems alright, but all the leads and everything's rooted, the air filter's blocked. It's just not too happy. But I condemn this car because it's got major crash damage and someone's welded in a new chassis rail very poorly and half the cross member, so the engine was about to fall out last time I worked on this. And I just canned it and said no more. So this is going to get stripped fully. Let's see if it'll start. Well, first I'll see if it'll start without actually getting in and operating the gas pedal. It's a little bit rank in there. The seats are really nice though, but the mold's got to the carpets and the roof lining. Yeah. And it's got electricity. There we go. It does run. A few things vibrating around the place. Let's give it a bit of a rev. Very sluggy. Runs alright. It's running on LPG. It needs a good tune, new leads, new filters. It will keep this engine and gearbox. Well, this thing seems to have almost 3/4 of a tank of petrol and half a tank of gas, or just under. The gauges are a bit weird in this one. It's got a lot of oil pressure according to that. It's misfiring pretty bad right now. I figure let's try and see what happens on petrol on this. That's running really well now. Can't even hear it. Aha! Now we're on petrol. Best misfiring now. It sounds like it's got a little more power, but not enough to make the car twist when you rev it. Yeah. Not bad at all. It was actually rubbish, but at least it runs on petrol. So this is just going to get stripped like that silver one I did. So take all the heater controls, they seem to work. Put that on, the fan comes on. That selects floor, screen, hot, cold work. The aircon's dead though. Lovely smell of stale fuel. And now it's misfiring again. This gauge seems a bit out from idle to revving it with nothing on. That's it running on petrol. Stinks like bricks of hell though. And one tiny exhaust for such a big engine. Yeah. Well, since I ran the almost a 6 litre V8, I'm going to run the just over a 4 litre V8, and you can hear the difference in them. So let's see if this thing will start without having to use throttle. I'm probably going to have to use some throttle. Bastard. Alright, hang on. It's dead cold. It's got a new temperature gauge in it too. The gas wasn't turned on. That would probably help. That's stone cold. I'll let it warm up a bit and we'll play with it. Oh, it's been running for a bit, so we'll give it a couple of revs. LPG is a very moist burning fuel, so you get a lot of steam and moisture when it's cold, and it's freezing out here tonight. So that sounds so much better than the almost 6 litre V8.